Hello everybody, ScootFish here, and welcome back to War Dragons. Welcome to part 2 of what War Dragons is, the tutorial of War Dragons, and that is dragons. Now there are 3 dragon types, though there are dragon species within the types, but there's 3 types as far as what they do and what their attacks are, and that is hunters, warriors, and sorcerers. First, let's go over hunters. Now, hunters are the type of dragon that when you tap the screen, they shoot a fireball to the location in which your finger has tapped on the screen. So they're more of a pinpoint, precise attacking type dragon. Warrior type dragons attack by constantly pushing a flame out wherever you drag your finger. So they're the type of dragon that when you are wanting to do a ton of damage and just all over the place, you're wanting to go ahead and lay it out with them. Now my least favorite, sorcerer dragons, attack by shooting out fireballs at things as your finger scrolls across them. They lock onto certain targets. So you can only hit certain things with these guys, whereas with the warriors or hunters, you're able to attack anywhere on the map. Sorcerers rely heavily on their special attacks, so let's go ahead and go over special attacks. Now, as you see, if we go here into a dragon and go to train, a lot of sorcerers have Summon Warrior. That is specific to sorcerer dragons. I haven't seen any other dragons that have that going on, and there are different attacks that are specific to each dragon. Now, for example, let me go ahead and go back out here. We'll go into a different dragon. Come on now, where you at? Equester. And he has a summoned warrior or lightning familiar that stays with him all the time. But the reason that he has something specifically different is because he is also a divine. Now, divine dragons are seasonal dragons and other special types of dragons that are more powerful and harder to acquire. You can normally only acquire them during specific times, specific events, stuff like that. There are some other rare circumstances in which there's divines that are lower tier divines. So Discory here is another one, and he actually is a dragon that you get from having Android. Now, both of them being sorcerers, you would think that I am not fond of them, but Equester is actually really badass, and that is because of the other attack that Equester has. Well, the attack that Equester has, and that familiar that stays in front of him all the time. Those do damage and take some of the damage that's going towards them, and I'll go ahead and throw footage up of things as I'm explaining as well. But with Equester, he also has a Thunderbolt lightning attack. Now that is not just specific to sorcerer dragons, but it is an ability that other dragons can get as far as hunters, and I haven't seen any warriors with them yet, but there are some hunters that have Thunderbolt or other lightning attacks. For me not liking sorcerers, I'm sure doing a lot of sorcerer examples right here. Let's go ahead and go over to warriors and go to a different guy. This is an older dragon that I haven't used for quite a while actually, so he probably likes the attention. But you see here, he has a defensive type move, Stone Skin Shield, which is his special attack that he uses to take less damage on things coming in. He also has the resist storm towers. Now that is another thing that dragons have, is passive abilities, with some of them being like Equester's passive ability to constantly have that lightning familiar. Well, there are the passive abilities to have resistances to towers and such things like that. Now dragons are essentially rated by their attack power, their damage per second, their health, and their max heal time, and that's what's going to decide what benefits you enjoy having a dragon for, aside from just the special moves that they have. Now, heal time is something to keep in mind if you're someone that is especially higher level, because it becomes more of a factor. The higher level your dragons get, the more heal time that it takes to heal them up. But they do have things like healing pots that allows you to just bring them back to life and use them. Now, those are limited and you only get them through chests, so, pick and choose how you do that. Now, as you go up in levels of dragons and heal time, those sort of things, you are going up in tiers of dragons. So we're going to go ahead and go over to the breeding chamber and explain that. Now, you see here that dragons are actually in different color arrangements in categorization of how they are tiered in their power. Now, I know I said that really weird. Sorry, getting a little off track trying to do two things at once here. Anyway, now it starts off at red tier, on to purple, then to blue, orange, which is what I'm currently in right now, green, gold, platinum, sapphire, garnet, and emerald. Oh, sorry. Not and emerald, because there's obsidian after that, and harbinger. That is the last one. Sorry. I knew that. Now, as I said, this is the breeding chamber, and the way in which you are able to breed dragons, I know that I have explained that you use egg tokens to breed them, but to acquire the ability to breed them, you see that I have some that are ready to breed, and then some that aren't. And that is because as you level dragons up, I don't think I can show you that in here as far as their breeding level, but as you level dragons up, at certain levels they become breedable, and then as you have the right combinations, you are able to unlock the next dragons along the way. That's why I said earlier in the video before this that it is more of a progression-based capture system than your normal taming capture, go out and get what you can find sort of thing. Now, these are all actually just your regular progression dragons that you would be going through. So that's quite a bit in itself. You guys saw that I'm only in the orange and it goes all the way up to the harbinger. Well, you go over here into divine dragons, and these are the special dragons that I was telling you about that are like seasonal. Here's a quester right here. They are seasonal dragons, and then I believe there's other ways that you can get some of them that are certain types of events. Now, Fluffy, which was Kieran, I wonder if it gives me the real name when I click on it. Nope, it's just Fluffy now. Anyway, that was actually available around Valentine's Day. So even though it's still a seasonal dragon, like it was specifically only a certain time. They split the seasons up a little bit as far as when they push out certain dragons and stuff like that, and that's something they're doing with this season too. You guys see I already have it's actually a Bron. I know that Abrian is wrong because I did some research, but I'm having a hard time actually. I believe it's like a Bron, but he is one of the 3 that are available now, and those are only a portion, the first portion of this season's dragons. Now, another cool thing about the divine dragons and seasonal dragons is that at least most of them, as far as I'm aware, all of them, because the ones that I've got right now are all capable of it, but they are able to evolve through the different tiers I was telling you about, the red, purple, up to harbinger. They're able to evolve through those different tiers of dragon tier strength. So let me see right now. Fluffy, I got a decent amount of the way. I wonder if I can tell what tier it is. It doesn't really say. Evolves at level 13. I'm at 12 now. I think I did it another 2 times before. Anyway, I don't know how to show you guys that right now, but they are able to evolve to different tiers of strength of dragon, and that is what makes them so much more powerful and so much better. Now, they're not the only dragons that have this sort of thing going on. There is one other dragon, I guess there's probably a couple other ones, but one other dragon that I have and can show you guys. Let's go back here into our dragon pen. Good old hunter dragon. Now, Ember, this guy right here, and I actually have the recording of me getting him leveled up and evolved, getting the proper stone. He is one that you actually have to pay for, and I do have to pay to get him up to a higher tier past that, but it was a little package deal that they have, and he's they don't do that with a lot of dragons. This game is actually pretty generous with allowing you to enjoy the game by giving you items and progress and stuff like that. As you see here, it's now $19.99 though for me to get him to the next evolution tier, and you do get other things along with it too. I probably won't end up doing that. We'll see. I'm working out some different ways to get some funding going on the channel for stuff like that, but at the moment we're probably not going to spend $20 on evolving a dragon. Now you guys seen down in here, I click in the left little, it's got the symbol with the helmet and the dragon. That is my active dragon roster, and you don't have as many dragons in it when you start off as I do now. I actually have one extra dragon here. I'll explain how I get him, the one that says 2 uses left. I'll explain that in a minute. But you actually unlock extra slots within your dragon roster to hold more dragons along the way. One of those things that, because I didn't start the game off with you guys, I wasn't able to show you, and kind of lacking. I apologize. Anyway, let's talk about that other dragon. That dragon is actually something down here. Now you can't get this until you clear the fog out on this section right here. And you go down here, you see this is a shrine. This is for the water dragon, and I have unlocked him by defending so many bases and taking down dragons. That is considering sacrifices to the water shrine dragon, and that is how you unlock him. And every time that you unlock him, he is a little bit stronger. It's like leveling him up. Very interesting how they do that with that dragon. So I do have him for 2 uses, and eventually we'll be showing you guys what that is all about. Now you see another thing here is I have this pink dragon up here floating over this perch. Now that is something that is unlockable along the way you get with black pearls. If I were to go to upgrade, it's going to ask me to use black pearls. I do not have any right now, so I'm not able to do so, but I was lucky enough to get some from an event a little while ago to open this up. And you feed that dragon to keep it up on your perch for so much time, defending and attacking. Well, attacking by defending, attacking incoming dragons, that's what I mean. Anyway, one more thing that you are able to do when you're in your dragon den is you have the ability to actually name dragons. So you guys have seen that I have some goofy names going on. Go ahead and okay, so come on, scroll. Tiger, for example, his name used to be Newman, so he is another one that kind of took fancy to, along the way. I really liked that dragon. He helped me out a lot, so I ended up naming him. One of my favorite, most notorious ones is Scrag. His name was Dactyl, and I used him to level up a good portion of my lower levels. Probably from I can't remember what level you get him at, but up to almost level 27, I think. So probably 15 to 27 or something like that. It was a really big stretch. So you can name your dragons, and because of that, I want to actually go over to the only sorcerer that I enjoy and give him a fitting name, because he is so helpful. Not what I meant to do. What's going on here? Just want to view him. So when you have your dragons in here, you can go over to info, and you see it actually gives you the ability to edit their name. Now he goes through a map fast as crap because he knocks stuff down with that lightning. So what better name to give him than Lightning? Booyah! That makes me super duper happy. And on that note, there is your guys' explanation of dragons. Hope you all found it informative. Make sure if you did to like, comment, subscribe, share, that YouTube stuff down below if you haven't already. And I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Peace!